What we are witnessing in South African politics right now could easily be described as one of the most dramatic and unpredictable moments in recent history. The news coming from the MK Party confirming their support for a Democratic Alliance, DA, sponsored vote of no confidence against President Cyril Ramaphosa has sent shockwaves across the political landscape. If that wasn't enough, sources now indicate that indirect talks are taking place between the MK Party and the Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, possibly to bring the EFF on board to support this motion. What does all this mean? Well, it means that the political ground under President Ramaphosa's feet is becoming more unstable by the day, and the very future of South Africa's government is hanging in the balance. Let's take a deep breath and break down what's happening, why it matters, and what could unfold in the weeks and months to come. This isn't just another political squabble. The stakes are high, not only for politicians but for every South African, as well as for investors and the international business community watching from afar. To understand this situation fully, we have to rewind and look at the historical context of these political forces, how the current alliance structures came to be, and what it means for the future of South Africa. The MK Party, officially known as the Umkhonto we Sizwe Military Veterans Association, has roots deeply intertwined with South Africa's liberation struggle. Named after the armed wing of the African National Congress, ANC, during the apartheid era, the MK Party today holds symbolic and political weight, representing those who fought for freedom through military resistance. However, the MK Party's relationship with the ANC has been complicated over the years, and internal fractures have become more visible as new political formations have emerged. Then we have the DA, historically South Africa's main opposition party, which champions liberal democracy, market-friendly policies, and is traditionally supported by urban middle-class and minority communities. Over time, the DA has grown in strength but has often struggled to shake off perceptions that it does not represent the majority African electorate. The EFF, led by Julius Malema, emerged as a radical left-wing alternative that taps into deep frustrations among many South Africans about inequality, unemployment, and corruption. The party's fiery rhetoric and populist approach have both energized supporters and stirred controversy. Now, these three political forces find themselves in an unusual but strategic convergence. The DA, recognizing the growing discontent with Ramaphosa's leadership within the ANC and its allied formations, is sponsoring a vote of no confidence. The MK Party's confirmation of support for this motion is significant because it signals a fracturing of traditional ANC loyalty, and the possibility of indirect talks between MK and EFF to bring the EFF into this coalition raises the stakes even further. If the motion passes, which is no longer unthinkable, the outcome would be seismic. Mashatile, the ANC's deputy president and a key figure within the MK Party, could emerge as president. Meanwhile, Julius Malema might be positioned as deputy president, signaling an unprecedented alliance between factions previously seen as rivals. Meanwhile, the DA, depending on how negotiations unfold, might either go into opposition or remain part of the government through a doomsday alliance. These are political seismic shifts. The repercussions could range from the collapse of the current government to the calling of new elections. But why does this matter to the average South African, and what about the wider economy? This is where things get concerning. Political instability almost always leads to economic uncertainty. Investors hate uncertainty. Businesses hesitate to expand or hire when the political ground is shaking beneath their feet. Inflation could rise as confidence in the rand weakens, and the country's already precarious position in the global economy could worsen. That means job losses, higher prices, and fewer opportunities for millions of South Africans who already struggle to make ends meet. So, while political insiders may be watching these developments as tactical moves in a larger game, for the everyday citizen, this spells danger and potential hardship. Let's consider the perspectives of some key players to better understand the dynamics. From the DA's point of view, this is a moment to capitalize on ANC infighting and to press for accountability and change at the highest levels of government. The DA has long criticized Ramaphosa's leadership for being weak on corruption and economic transformation. Supporting a no-confidence vote aligns with their goal to position themselves as a credible alternative to the ANC. The MK Party, on the other hand, seems to be signaling that it no longer fully backs Ramaphosa's vision or leadership. This could stem from deep dissatisfaction with how the ANC has handled internal democracy, economic issues, or governance challenges. By aligning with the DA's motion, the MK Party is staking a claim for more influence in the post-Ramaphosa order. The EFF, known for its radical stances and calls for systemic transformation, might find the opportunity to wield executive power alongside the MK Party and possibly the DA, too tempting to ignore. But the EFF's support for a vote of no confidence might come with conditions, demands, and a vision that differs significantly from both the DA and the MK Party. Negotiations will likely be complex and fraught. President Ramaphosa, meanwhile, faces a grave threat. His ability to hold on to power depends on how much support he can muster within the ANC and among its allies. If enough key players withdraw their backing, his presidency could end abruptly. Looking beyond the parties, civil society and the general public are caught in the crossfire. South Africans have long hoped for political stability and economic growth. A sudden government collapse and fresh elections might feel like a step backward, undoing gains and progress made over the years. Internationally, this political turbulence would raise red flags. Investors might pull out or delay investments, credit rating agencies could downgrade the country's standing, and the rand could experience volatility against other currencies. All this would deepen economic hardship at home. But it's also important to recognize that political change can sometimes lead to renewal and reform. If this crisis pushes South African leaders to address corruption, improve governance, and implement policies that promote inclusive growth, then maybe some good can come from this turmoil. That's a big if, and it will require courage, wisdom, and unity, qualities that seem in short supply at the moment. Looking to the weeks ahead, what can we expect? The coming days will be filled with intense political maneuvering. The vote of no confidence will dominate headlines and political conversations. Please make sure to subscribe to this channel if you want to stay updated on all the latest political developments and analyses. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss any videos. And leave your comments below. Your voice matters in this conversation. This political storm is far from over. But together, we can stay informed and hold those in power accountable for the sake of our beloved country.